Hey, what's up, guys? Whew. Man, was last night something to watch. God, it was like an eyesore almost. But I don't know why everybody's jumping off the ship already. We're only 5 games into the season. Still a lot of games to be played, guys. You know, I see a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Facebook renouncing their fandom to the Sixers, saying we're done, we're over with, we should tank, get the first pick. I guess they forgot that we don't own that pick, unless they're talking about our own. But you got to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks. They played a fantastic game last night. We were coming off a back-to-back, so miscues were going to be expected. They didn't play their sharpest game. We got Ben Simmons back. We figured, hey, what's up, Brian? We figured maybe they could, bounce back after that tough loss to Detroit. Maybe a little bit of jet lag. What's up, Ron? But be it as it may, Sixers lose 123-108. We got exposed last night. Okay, a lot of people are upset with Markelle. Okay, I don't know whether it's because he only scored 5 points or it was the lack of hustle, the lack of heart. He doesn't really have any dog in him, but they were upset. And I just say we got to be patient with the kid. I know it's tough to say that, and we've been saying that since Trust the Process started, 3-4 years ago. But it is what it is. And you look at how far advanced Milwaukee is than the Sixers, how far advanced the Greek Freak is from Ben Simmons. He is leaps and bounds ahead of Ben Simmons. Way better player. They both had triple-doubles last night. Antetokounmpo had 30 points, 18 rebounds. I mean, God, he's a beast on the boards. And 10 assists. And I don't know if you guys watched the video before that, but I stated we were going to have to crash the boards to beat them because they're a great rebounding team. They're good out in transition, especially with Antetokounmpo. He likes to take it to the rack. Well, that's all he did last night. There wasn't much resistance. He was getting there with no problem. A lot of our defenders were doing that. There wasn't a lot of help defensively. They were kind of just standing and watching around. Same with Fultz. He was getting blown by every single time. I mean, it was just effortless. You saw Ben Simmons at one point yelling at Markelle to get his guy, cover his guy, and get back on defense. I don't know what's up with Markelle there. Brett Brown said after the game, too, that, there's only so much we can do. The kid's got to help himself, which is absolutely true. But it was just a great effort by the entire Bucks team. You look at what they did. They got production out of guys like Ilyasova, our old teammate. He got a bunch of charges. You got Brook Lopez dropped 5 threes. What the hell is going on with these guys that aren't, usual three-point shooters that are just killing us? They look like Steph Curry out there. First Blake Griffin and then Brook Lopez. Oh, my God. He killed us last night, but I'm okay with him taking threes, all right? It's not like he was wide open any of the time. They were defended. They were just going in. It was his night. He dropped 21. Like I said, Antetokounmpo had 30. You got 25 out of Middleton, 18 out of Bledsoe, and then the bench production was great for Milwaukee. They got 18 rebounds, okay? You look at our bench production from theirs, they gave their team 18 rebounds. That's a bunch of extra possessions. Our team only got us 9. They had a 4-man rotation, we had 6, and we only got 9 rebounds to their 18 with 4 guys. And then you look at points-wise, if you take J.J. Redick's 19 points out of the equation, 17 points from our 6 guys, from Korkmaz, T.J., Shamet, Amir Johnson, Mike Muscala. That's crap. And for people that want to take JJ out of the starting or put him back in the starting lineup, then what production are you going to get out of the bench? You can't have that. You're going to lean all your weight on the starters, and then when they're out, teams are just going to cut into the lead at that point. So I don't think that's a great decision to put JJ in the starting lineup. I feel like you have to leave him on the bench just to have that a little extra firepower. But when the production that the Bucks got out of their starters, 4 guys over 20 plus, or Bledsoe was close to it, it's going to be tough to win. You got to shut somebody down, and you can't have that. And you look at our starters, got 8 points out of Covington, 15 out of Sarge. He was 2 from 6 from downtown. Covington overall was 3 from 10. You know, he's starting to put the ball on the floor like what I like to see, but he's still 2 from 5 from 2-point range and beyond. He just doesn't know what he wants to do. He gets stuck in his own head. It's like same with Fultz. It's this mental block that these guys have. But Simmons has to have that killer mentality. He should just mimic what the Greek Freak did last night because they're similar. The Greek Freak really doesn't have a shot, and what they should have done is jammed up the paint to make sure he didn't go down low or try to get to the rack to get to the free throw line because he's a poor shooter. He's not a great shooter. Especially this season, he's only shooting like .038 or 830 from downtown and beyond. And closer, I mean, which is pathetic. So you should have played defensively, just blocked it up, and make him beat you with his shot. They didn't do that. He got to the rack at will, and he just feasted on us. They got 52 points in the paint. Rebounding, though, we were close. We weren't as far as I thought they would be because they were out-rebounding teams by at least 13 or more, and turnovers killed us last night, too. We've been good for the first 4 games, but last night we had 16. It killed us, just careless possessions. And when I was talking about the bench with the Bucks getting 18 rebounds, that's extra possessions that they got their offense. Whether it be an extra 3 or Antetokounmpo kicking it out when he was getting doubled. The only one that really played bad for them last night was Brogdon, and that's not saying much. But they got a really, really good team. So kudos to them. They're 4-0. It was going to be a tall task to beat them. Even though we got Ben Simmons back, it's just we are stuck in a little rut right now, and you wonder by midpoint through the season if we're continuing to play like this, is Brett Brown still the problem? Do we have to go out and acquire another superstar? Whether it be Jimmy Butler, which I don't want to go after. I mean, if you look at that crazy deal that Houston offered the Wolves, Houston offered the Timberwolves 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. Like, I am not willing to do anything like that. If that's their asking price for a guy that's close to 30, or he might even be 30 at this point, he's real beat up. Had a lot of minutes logged on those legs. I'm not doing that. I think we should pursue Anthony Davis. I know it's like a pipe dream to think something like that. What is it going to cost? But if you don't have a reliance on Fultz, and I think Brett Brown is the wrong coach for Fultz to really progress in his career, you got to pick between the two. Are you going to stick with Fultz or you try to ship him out? You don't have any value for Fultz at the moment, though. But that confidence has got to be weighing in that kid's mind because of what happened so far with Brett playing him and his minutes log. Now, in the fourth quarter, he got 7 minutes, which was better. But the game before, he was only in there for a minute and a half. He went with TJ. Now, if this kid is mentally broken, and he's got no confidence in his shot, or he's worried that if he doesn't make the shots that he's going to get benched or he's not going to get any playing time, or the media is going to attack him, he's fragile at this point. So, but the lack of hustle, that has nothing to do with Brett, that is all on Markelle Fultz. I still think this kid should be getting 35 to 40 minutes a night, whether his production is there or not. But Ben's got to have that killer mentality. He took 1 jump shot. He's still not shooting the ball with confidence at all. He took that 1 shot, and it was a fadeaway. I'm not sure why he likes to make things more difficult than they have to be. He's 6'10". Usually when you have to shoot a fadeaway, it's to shoot over guys. But he's so tall, he doesn't have to worry about that. Make the shot easier on yourself. Just pull up. You could saw there was no confidence when he was trying to get to the rack and get to the free throw line because he was horrendous from there too. But we're still talking about the same stuff and we're still having these same problems. I want Ben to be aggressive. They're daring him and Fultz to shoot. And that game last night could have been a lot worse if Milwaukee was hitting their shots. But our numbers were pretty close because in the video I stated before, we mimic each other because they come from the Greg Popovich tree. Okay, a lot of three-point shots. I would like to see, and it's all based off defense with Budenholzer and Brett Brown. They shot 30% from downtown. We shot 32%. Overall, we shot 41%. They shot 40%. So the teams got cold. They were just mimicking each other. It was a lot of up and down. And it was great to see the Sixers. It's kind of like they heard what I was complaining about. Because earlier in the game, they were getting to the rack. They were getting to the free throw line. In the second quarter, out of the 19 shots they took from the free throw line, 16 came from the second quarter. So before that, in the first quarter, they only had 3 times they were at the charity stripe. And, you know, if you want to be productive and slow down the opposition's offense, you want to get to the line, get to the rack, slow them down, get their... Did you see Pistons? Oh, yeah, I saw that Creeper 199. It was terrible. We should have been 3-1 going into the night, but back-to-backs are tough. Okay, you still got travel time. Your legs aren't as fresh. So I didn't know. I knew we weren't going to be 100%, and going up against a team like Milwaukee, who is playoff bound, and they have an MVP candidate in Antetokounmpo, it was going to be a tall task. So everybody was going to have to step up. We didn't get barely any production out of our starters like we needed to. You know, Sarge has got to score more than 15 points. He had one of his better games, though. I will have to say, and that's pathetic to say because he didn't have that good of a game last night. You know, Covington's such a Jekyll on high. You know, 8 points, not really helpful. 1 from 5 from downtown, and we get no bench production whatsoever, only from JJ. So that's why we have to have him coming off the bench. But it was ugly towards the end of the game. Sarge can be replaced. I agree. You know, he's not that guy that you just want to, that we were so reluctant to really get rid of, and you want to hold on to him. So you might have to bite the bullet. Whether that's possibly putting him in a deal for Anthony Davis, I think that would be our best bet. He doesn't want to stay in New Orleans. Okay, he wants out. He's still young. He's 25 years old. It just depends on what's it going to take to acquire him. It's going to take a king's ransom to acquire him. Is it going to be 4 first-round picks? I don't know. I don't know what the asking price is going to be from New Orleans, but he would fit great in here. You would have Ben, JoJo, and then you've got AD playing at the 4, which is his natural position. He doesn't want to play the 5. That's what they have him playing down in New Orleans. So to have, I mean, this guy's a generational talent. To pair him with an Embiid and a Simmons, I think it would be leaps and bounds, and it would put us closer, at least, to a championship. You know, I don't know if it would be enough to quite put us there, but there's other factors you have to put into this, paying the man, so on and so forth. But you have to look at all those. You know, that's something that Elton Brand would have to figure out. But it's like, what is it going to take to get that third player? And then all that pressure wouldn't be on Markelle Fultz either to produce for being the #1 overall pick. He can slowly be brought into his own because you still got to consider this to be his rookie season. Even though he played 14 games last year, it's still going to be a lot of growing pains with this kid through this season. So people are just going to have to be patient. Yeah, it is, Nick Diaz. The NBA is very soft. Watching last night... at first, they were letting them get away with a lot of stuff. Milwaukee was pulling, holding. JJ, they were holding. And there's no defense. It's all offense, all sports. Same with the NFL. They were, and then they were calling ticky-tack fouls, like complete crap. Guys were going straight up with their arms, and they were going to the line. It's just everything's geared towards offense. They don't like to have. They're not even allowed to hand check anymore. There's this new rule called. Free in motion, I believe that's what it's called. They're not allowing them to play defense. It's like they want to have up and down, no defense played at all. It's just a lot of high-scoring offense, just like the NFL. And I'm starting to dislike watching the NFL a lot because of that. There's just no resistance. And who wants to watch that? Has anybody watched the NBA All-Star game? I don't watch that crap anymore. Like 195 to 192. Who the hell wants to watch that garbage? Tough defense. It is. I used to love basketball in the early 2000s, 90s. That was an era. Here the Raptors are 5-0. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. They're a good team. You know, you got Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if he stays there, but another reason I would like to go after Anthony Davis, too, is just so Boston doesn't have him. They have the draft capital. They have everything they need. They don't even have to give up their draft picks. They have even players to give New Orleans to acquire Anthony Davis. So I would like to bite the bullet and just try to steal him from them just so they don't get him. You know, they could give up Kyrie, Gordon Hayward. You know, they've got all that draft capital. Still, they still have a ton of picks, even after giving up what they did to Cleveland. What happened to specialty positions? Center, true wing, spot up three specialists. It's no more. It's positional as basketball, Nick. You've got the big guys jacking up threes anymore. You don't have a true center that goes down on the block and does work. You know, the days of the Patrick Ewings, the Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neals, they're dead. You've got the 7-2 guys going behind the arc and jacking up threes even. A lot of them can even handle the ball like guards. It's quite something. You've even got point guards that really don't run an offense. They're more true scoring guards. They're more like a 2-guard. I can't watch. This is not basketball. I'm still going to watch it because I love sports, but it's rough, man. I mean, times have definitely changed. It's all geared towards shooting threes, you know, running up the score, playing no defense, not really running plays. If you watch a lot of it, it's 4 guys standing around as one guy tries to create. We need a new Sixers song. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was getting old. Annoying you a little bit. Well, stuff starts to, you start to pick a stuff, especially when your team's not winning. But it's still very early. We're in the season. So I wouldn't jump off. Not that you are going to jump off the winning ways of the Sixers. I just seen people with their posting on social media, giving up on the Sixers, saying this and that. I just don't know if Brett Brown is the guy for the Sixers anymore. What do you take on the way Brett Brown handles the rotations? It's awful, Ron. Warriors will win again. Too predictable. Good stream. And that's the other thing. You've got all the superstars going to one team. That's also ruining and watering down the NBA. It sucks. They're taking less money so they can all pair up together and win championships. They don't want to try. Nobody wants to try. They want everything easy. And we can thank LeBron James for that. And then who exacerbated it? Kevin Durant. Because you got Boogie Cousins going to the Warriors. I mean, they truly did do it the right way before they signed the superstars. They built through the draft. And it's just you see the superstars wanting to have everything easy, like Kevin Durant gets beat by the Warriors. Well, if you can't beat them, join them. That's exactly what he did. Boogie has lost so many years he was in the NBA. He's been on so many bad teams that he was just like, screw it. I'm just going to go get my championship. I got plenty of money. It's too easy. But, Ron, to get back to your question, I apologize. I don't think Brett knows how to make in-game adjustments. He doesn't really know how to set a true rotation, because if you look last night, we did have six-man rotation, but it's just like one night you'll have TJ out there. I didn't like at halftime that he started JJ Redick again. Like, put Markelle out there. The kid needs minutes. He needs time in the NBA to be able to grow and learn the game. Like, what is he really hurting? You got JJ out there, though. Okay, when he's jacking up his threes, that's fine. But then when he gets tired, you're putting nobody out there that's coming off the bench that's going to be able to create their own shot or do anything. That is our biggest issue. We don't have anybody that can create their own shots, and we have no shooters. So he's trying to build something off of a blueprint of what the Spurs did, and there's no identity at all on Brett Brown putting his own twist on the game or through the offense like Budenholzer did. Take away the three, then it will be more competitive. Hey, 1983, I think they put the three-pointer in. And but if you look at it, it was never really used. They did a stat from when the Showtime Lakers played, and I think guys maybe averaged 1 or 2 threes a game because it was all run and gun, down on the post. Guys running backdoor screens, curls, all that fun stuff that you love to watch. Hard screens, hand checking. And you can't do that anymore. Now it's like teams are averaging close to 55 threes a game. It's asinine. It's because of the success from the Splash Brothers that has exacerbated the three-point, shooting even more. Because it's a copycat league, much like all sports are. They saw how great they won, 3 out of 4 championships, all with shooting. Great. We've seen 2 of the greatest shooters on one team, and then you add Sorry, I just missed that comment, guy. Three, and then you add Kevin Durant, who you could throw up there as a top 5 shooter as well in the game right now, and they just drain threes. You live and die by the three, but you have to have great shooters to be able to do that. You should get Big Daddy Graham's daughter on sometime. Hey, that would be awesome. I always love having new guests on the show, that's for sure. Me and Adrian are always down for that. Carly Ellison, I missed what you said. Are you the one that said having Big Daddy Graham's daughter on? Sorry, there's a lot of comments popping up, I'm trying to get to everybody's. So if I miss it, just, Kyle, I don't understand why isn't Brett playing these new guys, Jonah Bolden, Jackson, and Shake Milton. I just think he has no confidence in them at all. Ron, Jonah Bolden is so raw. I wouldn't want to have him out there. It took Korkmaz a little while to get some playing time, but at least he has some experience and adds a little to the game because he has a shot. Jonah Bolden's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, but no problem. Great stream, best for this. I appreciate that, Carly. But I feel like Jonah Bolden is so raw. He's terrible defensively. What I saw in preseason and summer league, and I know it's summer league and preseason, so people aren't trying as much, but that's like a tryout for anybody to try to make an NBA team. So you should be putting your best effort forward. And if he was just being lackadaisical because he was just trying to make the roster and not play, but he's not good enough. If he's getting beat by these second-year players, what is he going to do when he faces a vet or a Kevin Durant or whoever out there? He's going to get cooked every single time. But I get trying to get fresh blood in there, so I see what you're saying. We needed to go out and get a true center that's able to protect the rim when Embiid goes out, which we didn't do. Teams attack us relentlessly. They just drive through the paint without any resistance. When Embiid goes out, there's no real rebounding when Embiid goes out either. So we struggle in those two aspects. We're not, like last year, we were not passing and moving the ball. There's not a lot of great ball movement with this team. It's just by losing 2 players in Ilyasova and I'm sorry, a comment popped up. By losing Ilyasova and Marco Bellinelli, this shouldn't be that drastic of a change, okay? They were specialty players. Hustle guy in Ilyasova and a 3-point specialist in Bellinelli. Okay, you replace him with a Shamet. I know they're younger. Don't have the NBA experience, but Shamet could be something. Just got to give him some time. But losing those 2 guys shouldn't affect this team that much. I think a lot of this has to do with coaching. We lost Lloyd Pierce, so I thought it was a great coach, a great asset to our team, which I wish we could have promoted. But Brett is really on the hot seat this year, okay? He won 52 games last year. Almost took us to the championship game, against the Celtics. But they beat us 4-1. They made us look like mincemeat. They cut us up. They exposed all our weaknesses. And we really didn't fill those holes, so to speak. We didn't plug those up. We still have issues guarding the perimeter. Okay? We still really don't have Embiid going out on the block, Simmons shooting. And then we have we need the emergence of Fultz. That's our third tier that we're anticipating to doing something. Yeah, Boston is very good. They're extremely good. Definitely top 2 team in the East. They've made a lot of great moves. Their executives are very intelligent. All the credit in the world to Danny Ainge and that organization. But a lot of help came from really Billy King. So we can thank Billy King for being such a schmuck and handing them 4 first-round picks for 2 aging superstars. Anybody could have really done that. So, but I'm not trying to take anything away from Danny Ainge. He was still able to make great moves. He can evaluate talent. You look at the draft picks over the years. They got Kyrie Irving because of that draft capital, and they've hit on their draft picks. So more kudos to them. We took a different route. We stripped it down to the bare bones. Took injured players, and it just seems we can't get past that injury bug at the moment. But Sixers are 2-3 now. We need these next couple days off. regroup. We just got to figure something out. I don't know at what point things are going to change, but they will. We got to knock the rust off. So we'll be okay. It's just Brett has to find a rotation that works, okay? Because what we're doing right now is not working. We've got to find a game plan and stick to it. Raptors look a bit tougher and playing well. Yeah, I mean, they're still a top team. They got a better player in Kawhi Leonard than DeRozan. He's a way better player. Defensively, offensively, he does everything great. So it just wasn't working when team gets healthy. I mean, Wilson Chandler is definitely, Eric is going to add another element, a guy that can guard 1 to 4. He's a good perimeter defender. And, can go down on the block. He can shoot. He's a decent shooter. It all starts with the point and how Ben's going to dictate things. But it's Brett Brown making adjustments and doing key things with the rotation, okay? Well, you're going to have T.J. McConnell in there over Fultz the other game. I think that was a very bad decision. And to play him so many minutes over Fultz. Which seed do I think we're going to be? Definitely a top 5 because I don't think the East is at all any better than last year. It got worse by losing LeBron. Would you rather have Celtics win the East or the Pistons win the East? I'd rather have the Sixers win the East, Creeper. 198. That's who I want to win the East, obviously. But, you're relying a lot on our rookies to really pull some weight. And that's a big ask. Definitely. Shamet, whenever the kid that we drafted this year, his name is escaping me for some reason. When he gets off that foot injury, Zaire Smith gets off that foot injury, and then Fultz. That's a big ask for these guys. So you're relying on Simmons. Embiid is a monster, okay? He does everything out there. He rebounds. He plays defense. He's running pick and rolls. He's setting up offense. He's creating for other people. He's trying to do too much, and we can't ask of him for that just because you're so worried about him getting injured. He's got that killer mentality. Ben Simmons does not. Bro, my favorite NBA team, I do respect it. All right, well, I'm just telling you, the Sixers are my team, so I don't want the Celtics or the Raptors to win. I hate the Boston Celtics. Best big man. Yeah, he is, Tyree Jones. Bucks and Pistons definitely a good better. Can you repeat that, Eric? These comments don't stay up long enough. And then, everybody's firing them off, so I'm trying to get everybody's in there. But I still think we're we're the top 3 teams there. It's Boston, Toronto, and the Sixers. But I want to see Ben Simmons have that killer mentality. They're just daring him to shoot, and he's not doing it. He's worked on it. I hate everything about Boston. So do I, Carly. So do I. I hate Boston with a passion. I hate the Celtics. I hate the Patriots. I don't care about hockey, and screw the Red Sox. New York Yankees favorite MLB team. What's yours? Dude, I'm a Phillies fan. Are you a front runner, Creeper 198? It seems like you are, bro. But whatever. You like who you like. It's just Bucks beat us in every statistical category except assists last night. They shot 90. They were 28 from 30 from the line. We were 21 from 30 from the line. So that really hurt us. As well, you got to make your free throws. We got to get better at that. Bucks and Pistons definitely got better. The Raptors, I'm not sold on. Boston is the big fish. Yeah, Boston is the team to beat in the East, for sure, Eric. J.J. Redick's shot is crazy. Yeah, I'm so happy he's on our team, and I'm glad we re-signed him, because without him, I don't know where we would be. Him and Embiid are such a nice 1-2 punch, but I expect Ben to be in that mix, too, We need Ben to score at least 20 points a game. All right, for us to even be in the talks of top 3. If he's ever going to win an MVP in this league, he has to develop a shot. You can see how far ahead Antetokounmpo is from Ben. Right, Ben needs to be. And be it as it may, the Greek Freak's been in the league longer, of course. But, You know, out of what I saw from Ben, crazy workouts. He works out with LeBron over the offseason. Start shooting the ball, bro. Hope Jay finishes his career. I think he wants to, Eric. I know he took a pay cut this year. I would like to sign him for another year or two until we see some emergence from somebody. He can teach these young guys how to shoot, because Landry Shamet could be a J.J. Redick. I think he could be that good. He's a better defender than J.J. Redick. He's got a great shot. It's a quick release. He's like a deer in the headlights. He's a rookie, okay? This is all new to him. You got the best players in the world. You know, this is your dream. Of course you're going to be a little nervous. He looks lost. He wants to have open shots. You're not going to get that in the NBA. You got to be an aggressive kid. And if your shot's not there, put the ball on the floor, take it to the rack. Get your rhythm from the line. But we did that last night. I love seeing it. We were attacking the rim, and then we just transformed. Brett panics when we're down, and then he gets in that mentality like we got to just start jacking up threes to get back into this game, which it's not true, and that's a poor coaching decision. Eagles blew 17 in the lead. Carolina, who do you feel? How do you feel about that? Creeper 198. I didn't really care because I'm not an Eagles fan. So it sucked because I lost a lot of money because the Eagles blew that. I would have won a ton of money because I do football pools. And if they would have secured that lead and win, I would have won. But they screwed me out of a lot of money. So that kind of sucked. Blame Jim Schwartz. Oh yeah, Jim Schwartz is like my defense coordinator. He's a blockhead. He doesn't make adjustments during the game. He sticks to his one scheme because he thinks it's going to work, and he doesn't make adjustments. That's old man mentality right there. You got to be open to change. Okay? Brett Brown, you got to be open to change. Let the kid grow. Creeper, I bet also a Duke and Red Wings fan. Wait, I thought you were an Eagles fan bandwagon? What? How am I a bandwagon fan? I'm not an Eagles fan. Stubborn just like Brett. Yes, they are, man. It's that old man mentality. You're stubborn. You're stuck in your ways. You don't want to change. Jay's going to be our Ginobili. Yeah, I hate when Brett panics. Fultz needs to be trusted to develop. Yeah, I agree. Here, who do you think my Arizona Cardinals? Ooh, I love the Cardinals. Yes, I am a Jacksonville fan. That is correct. I am a Jacksonville fan. Bella, stop. Yeah, I'm a Jags fan. And I'm excited for that game coming up. But three of the starters are out, the starting cornerbacks, so I think Carson's going to cook them. But Brett needs not to panic. I feel like he doesn't have confidence in himself either. To be honest, we need to start switching on pick and rolls when teams run that. We do. It's just like everybody stands around and is expecting somebody to make a play. And they just look lost out there. I saw it 3 or 4 times on the defensive end. You know, Fultz got burnt, which he should be throwing his body in more, preventing guys to having a straight line to the rim. But you look at Simmons and Embiid and Sarge, they're all just watching them go by. Where's the help defense at? Yeah, especially when you're in that zone. I never seen our D this bad. We need Lloyd Pierce back. Yeah, Lloyd Pierce was a key cog to this team. And I'm sure he'll work wonders there. I wish we would have hired him as our head coach. Switches at Chip Kelly at defense. But with the Cardinals, to the Cardinals fan, they just need to trade Patrick Peterson and Fitzgerald because I feel bad for him the most. Jesse, repeat that. And David Johnson, and just start from fresh because they have a lot of holes there. And Fitzgerald deserves a championship. Always been a fan of the Cardinals because of Fitzgerald. But they are just not the same team. So they got to take what they can from their superstars and move on. Always love talking football and basketball. 2 best sports. Jesse, if you could throw that question up there again. Sorry, man. It's just like rapid fire. But we're going to need these 3 days off. Coming in on Saturday. Next game is on Saturday against the Charlotte Hornets. Another beatable opponent. Because you really have only got... sorry. You've only got Kemba there. So I hope he doesn't cook us. He usually does have a good game against us. For whatever reason, he plays good in Philly. The game in New England are dumb as Europeans can care less about NFL. I don't know, though. I always used to think that, too, but they always sell out Wembley Stadium for some reason. It sucks that they're so early. Fultz seemed completely out of the offense. They need to start running some plays for him to get him going early. Yeah, it's Brett, man. I feel like he hates Fultz. They're all soccer hooligans. Yeah, soccer's their main sport over there, but they do fill up Wembley Stadium, which is over 100,000, so they must love American football somewhere. The Kings pick somehow Fultz to #1. Yeah, that would be awesome. That's what we need. That's what we really need to happen. It sucks that those games are on at 9:30 because the first London game was on at 1. I don't know why they couldn't do that. But this was the game I was waiting for this because you guys only play my team every 4 years. So I'll have to wait another 4 years to when they're down at the Eagles, down at the Link to go watch them play. But they had their opportunity. It could have been Eagles-Jags last year in the Super Bowl. You know? But they do have to start running some plays for Fultz, but that has to do with Brett Brown. I see energy out of Fultz, and then I just feel like he lacks off. He gets lazy. He just, doesn't look into the game. It seems like he's in the clouds somewhere. He's not running full speed. And I don't know what that has to do with it. I don't know if this all stemmed from what happened when he first got drafted with the Sixers, when it was the beef with the organization, Brian Colangelo, and his shooting coach, with his uncle or his lifelong, his middle school coach. Sixers defense is way too soft. Their defense is non-existent. And Milwaukee we could have dug into because they played terrible defense as well. It's too early to say that, Sixers Daily. I'm not ready to say he's a bust yet. It's too early. We need to start getting these W's at home, and then it's tough to run on the road. It's tough to win on the road. Especially coming off a back-to-back, you're going up against a greater opponent. Ben Simmons had that back spasm, so I thought he'd be, he got the triple-double, but I still want to see him score 25+. Be aggressive, jack up shots, even if you miss. He's got the same mentality as Fultz. They're afraid to shoot and miss. More so Fultz because he's afraid he's going to be under so much scrutiny. I think we have to talk about a Dario trade. Dario would be involved in a trade. He needs to be stepping up, and he's not. We expected a lot more out of Dario. I don't know if you kick him to the bench as well. But Brett's got to figure out a rotation that works. He's struggling mightily in the first 5 games. My issue with the team is Simmons don't even try to shoot. He doesn't, and they dare him to, and he doesn't even attempt it. I would care less if he missed than at least attempting it, which he doesn't do. It drives me insane. They're daring Fultz to do it too, but at least he's starting to shoot a little more. He looks good when he splits the double team, when he's being aggressive and going to the 10 in Fultz, because that's what we saw at Washington. And then and then Brett will take him out and then sit him for 10 minutes. Maybe TJ trade. I don't know what you get for TJ, but possibly. The defense lags off. It's like we go up and then they don't play defense and a team gets back in. Or they'll have a great steal and a dunk and it sucks all the air out of the Sixers. And then they look to Embiid. I'm not comfortable the Sixers are up going to play in all 4 quarters. Yeah, neither am I, Tyree. It's very stressful. You want them to be at least up 25, but that doesn't even matter. Because how many times last year did we see they were up 15 to 20 plus and they blew it within 5 minutes? They don't guard the perimeter at all. And why don't we take more corner threes? They love standing at the wings and at the top of the key behind the arc, but the easiest shot, or not the easiest, the closest you can get to a three-pointer is those corners. You see teams take advantage all the time from the corner threes, and we attempted 2 last night. And nobody cuts to the basket, okay? When you got a double on and beat, somebody cut to the basket so we can freaking... Shaq made a living at that, him and Kobe. It was money all the time. But everybody just stands around when Embiid's got the ball. There's no movement. Nobody's moving off screens. Nobody's cutting to the basket. It's frustrating. I mean, is this what the NBA has turned into? Everybody standing around and 22 seconds left on the shot clock and we just shoot 53s a game? No pick and rolls. My problem with Fultz is Brett Brown is, the minutes he can't He can't get into a flow. Brett Brown could be the cause of Fultz not developing into a good player. I really think he's the wrong coach for this team. And I've been a Brett Brown supporter since day one. But, there's no more excuses now. You don't have players like Jakar Sampson and, Henry Sims and players like that. You've got legitimate talent on this team now, so you can't be looking up and scratching your head, Brett. Yeah, his decision-making is horrible. He's good at a timeout sometimes, but a lot of the time he lets the players do it on the fly. What's the point of even having a coach then, Brett? Go sit down. Be last year to get it right. This is his last year, Jesse. You like Brett Brown, or is it about that time? Oh man, that's tough. I gotta give Brett more time. Again, I've been a supporter since day one of Brett Brown because I feel like he coached better when we had nobody on this team. And I don't know if that's because the players were hungrier or what it was, but he was a better coach when we had the Henry Sims, the Jakar Sampsons, the Isaiah Cannons. We were in games. We got blown out sometimes, but there was fight. There was a dog in this team. That mentality is not in this team at all. They are soft. I want to see more hard screens, more pick and rolls, even if you're going to get called for them, man. Just get some edge to you. Get a chip on your shoulder. Especially JJ and Embiid on the offense. Yeah. Simmons doesn't attack still. Sometimes he does, but if it's not an open lane, he's not taking it to the rim. Look at Antetokounmpo last night. 3 guys there under the basket, and he's taking them on and getting the foul. Who remembers watching Allen Iverson? Dude was 140, soaking wet maybe, and he was going in there amongst the trees, banging his body around. But he got to the line. He was successful. He got in a rhythm. He had heart. He was tough. He had dog in him. Brett Brown never thought he'd see a coach smarter than Pop. Now he's starting at the end of the barrel. Brad Stevens gone. Yeah, he looks like a fool. He got out-coached against the Pistons. Dwayne Casey outcoached him. Budenholzer outcoached him last night. And they both learned under the Popovich tree with Mike Davis, Steve Kerr. Simmons' first opening is passing, then be aggressive. That's his problem. And I don't know what LeBron's chirping in his ear because LeBron doesn't play that way. He needs to be aggressive. It's like we're a broken record, right, guys? It's like take the shots, be aggressive. It's like you don't want to get hit. He's 6'10", 230. What, are you afraid you're going to break? You're not made of glass. And a lot of times last night, there were 3 Sixers under the basket, and the 1 Bucks player is getting the rebound. I mean, that drives me insane. Either block out or jump for the ball. Why are you all standing around like you don't know what's going on, like it's a timeout? See, that energy, it's a different energy when they're at home because the fans will get on them, okay? But when they're on the road, there's nothing. No dog, no energy, no nothing. They stand around and expect somebody to make a play. Yeah, second chance points are killer. And, the bench with 4 players going last night got them 18 rebounds to our 9 with our 6-man rotation off the bench. Horrible, but it's everything. It's, what it is too, though? It's the media, because social media is been so awful for sports because the players can say they don't read into it or they don't pay attention to it. We all know that's a lie. The Sixers have been a hype team now for 2 or 3 years, okay? So it's like they've been put on this pedestal and they expect to be good without trying, you know what I mean? Like they expect to be a 4 or a 5-0, but you got to work hard to get that. Nothing's given to you. Nothing's given to you in this world. And they've been so hyped by the media, by fans, by everything, that it's just like they expect to win. They expect to be bailed out. And it ain't going to happen without you having that mentality to work hard and get it done. And it's just not there. And Brett Brown's soft. You have to have a hard-nosed coach to get on these players. Do you see Belichick babying anybody? at all? Do you see Popovich babying anybody? No. He would bench his superstar players if they gave him lip. He didn't care. It doesn't matter. He would sit them out. Even if Tim Duncan was having a 30-night game and he was going off, he would bench him for any little miscue that's happening. You cannot be soft. You're their coach. You're not there to be their best friend. Brett Brown is not a person who will say this. He needs to be out there here. Philly fans won't be supporting soft and lazy. Hell no. And I do love the comment that Simmons had after the game. He said, you know, you're expected to know the plays. This is Philadelphia. You know, we're expected to play a certain way. So he holds himself to a higher standard, which I love to see that. That's awesome. He knows how we are. He knows how we know our sports, and we get on the players if they're not doing or not playing hard enough. But he's got to look in the mirror and look at himself as he's doing the same thing. He's not shooting. He's not being aggressive. But I would like for him to step up and be a leader too and have a voice. He needs to be that type of guy. As long as Simmons is accountable, I can accept that for sure. With any player. You know, I like that he is calling out the players, though. I love the aggression that he was yelling at Fultz to get on his man. That's what you need out of your leader and your point guard. Simmons, exactly. He has to be the leader. He has to put up at least 20 for us to be successful. Don't be surprised when Simmons walks in free agent. Yeah, but Jay, he's not going to because we can match. He's an unrestricted free agent. So we can match any offer that is given to him. So we at least have him for another 5 years. So I'm not worried about it. If he wants to walk in the next 5 years, we might not even be relevant at that point. So I know he likes it here. He said he likes it here. I hope he would love to bring a championship here, and I hope he doesn't walk, but we got him locked up for the next 5 years, so he ain't going nowhere. But at what point do you guys look at it that do you think adding another superstar, since we didn't attract any in free agency, that we're going to have to trade for one? Because I think that's what's going to happen. And B doesn't take anything serious. Yeah, he does. I wouldn't say that. I mean, he is a bit of a jokester, but he definitely takes stuff serious. I love him, B. He's a great personality. So you got those two going at it, too. Ben's the more quiet one. I don't know if Embiid wasn't here, if he'd be more assertive, or he'd still be himself. But, you know, we'll have to see. So we got these next 3 days off to got to learn from our mistakes. And hopefully we get this win against Charlotte. Because you know the fans are going to be on them coming at home 2-3. For sure. That shit ain't going to fly down at the center. I love the improvements that the center has done, too. I mean, the lower mezzanine where I sit has to be redone, but they redid everything on the top. Bathrooms, too. Dope. What do you think about Rockets offering forward first? I don't know if you missed what I said, Philly, but that's asinine. Houston, you know, Daryl Morey, who Hinkie learned under, he's a fast and fly guy. He's living on at the seat of his pants. That's insane to offer that much. You're overpaying. That's like when you're in poker and you got a 7-2 offsuit and you go all in on it, just trying to bluff somebody out. You're just trying to overpay to buy the pot. The Rockets are trying to overpay to buy the pot. If the Timberwolves do that, they're going to be screwed. They're going to screw their franchise. KAT's going to leave. Wiggins, you're going to have no future and add to your pieces that you already have. So to give up that much to acquire Jimmy Butler, I think is a very stupid idea. For only 1 year of Butler, who is logged a lot of minutes on his legs. He's been beat up. I don't think Jimmy would rock the boat. Maybe not. I don't know, because they play hard there. You got Chris Paul. Do you, Carly? I'm pretty awesome at poker. Well, not awesome. I win sometimes. But, you know, for them just to... They're going all in right now is what Houston's doing. They figure they got Chris Paul, who's nearing close to the end of his career. He's playing great. About that, I got a phone call. Unless it's strip poker. There you go. I've never turned down those strip poker. That shit's some fun. Used to play that back in college with the girl all the time. Getting a phone call keeps freezing this. Keeps freezing my phone, these phone calls. But, yeah, that's overpaying. They're trying to win now. They're trying to go all in, for sure. They've got Harden in his prime. They've got a really great team. They re-signed Capella. They brought in Melo, who isn't the same player, but it's a bench piece. You get Butler with that team. Is it enough to beat the Warriors? I don't know, but it's enough to beat the Warriors. I don't know, but it's pretty close. But I think that's a bad decision for Houston to do that because it's risking. And I screwed up earlier. I said Timberwolves would be stupid. Houston would be stupid because they'd be screwing the pooch and ruining their future. Not the Timberwolves. They would be benefiting off of that to add to what they already have there. Rockets need Jimmy. Their defense is more horrible so far. Well, if you look at their coach and everywhere that he's been, D'Antoni don't play defense. It's all offense with him. He was with that with Phoenix when they had Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash. You know, and the X Factor there, Shawn Marion. It was run and gun all day. Jack up a lot of threes. Play absolutely no defense. He just tried to outscore everybody that was out on the court. So that's why I don't think D'Antoni's teams will ever win an NBA championship for the lack of defense. Because you can't win championships by just going all gung-ho on offense. Even if it's a little resistance on defense. But you're not going to win that way. Hence why he's never won. And he's had great teams. LeBron should have joined the Spurs. Now I think they would have beat the Warriors. They're a good defense. Wait, what was that, Jay the GOAT? LeBron, I don't know. Him under Popovich, I just don't see that. Why he went out to L.A. was a business move. That's exactly what that was. You know, to promote his movie. He's got his company out there. City of Angels. You got all those connections. He wants to do movies. I know LeBron does. So the more aspect, it wasn't a basketball move. It was more later in life type move. Rockets window opportunity is shut when CP3 injured. Yeah, last year that was towards the end it was a good series. Because I think the Rockets had a chance to beat the Warriors if CP3 didn't get hurt. But if they go out and acquire Jimmy Butler, Bron, Aldridge, DeRozan, I mean, that's a pretty good trio. No, it is. I definitely think so, but, I mean, you look at San Antonio, it's not in the limelight, it's not a big city. He lived in a small city in his whole life. He got that taste down in Miami of a big city. You figure you go out to L.A., you promote Space Jam 2 while he's out in L.A., and it's kind of like the cherry on top to end his career, to go to such a storied franchise. So that's why I didn't see him going to San Antonio, a small market. Be it as it may, it's a great organization. It's just it's not the Lakers, you know. A lot comes with that. It's bougie. It's very bougie, LA. All right, I'll take one more questions than anything else. I can't believe I've been rambling for 52 minutes. I apologize about that. I only wanted to make a quick vid. But it was great talking with you guys. It's been awesome. All right, I'm going to head up out of here. Great talking. I got some, oh, wow. I got some football to watch because it's 8:30 already. So, this is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. We got Charlotte on Saturday. I'll be down at the center. I'm going to hopefully do a video down there if I have connection. So, we will see what happens. 2-3 Sixers. Not looking so hot, but don't jump off the boat yet, guys. We're all good. But we might see a coaching change by midseason if we continue on this route. All right, guys. KG on BB. I'm out. Peace. Go Sixers.